Welcome to the next session. This topic is about the dynamic HTML. And here in the previous last sessions, we have seen the different programming on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and now we are here to learn about the dynamic HTML. The name itself, it says dynamic hypertext markup language, which is not normal HTML, that is, which is not a static HTML. If I need an user interaction with a browser or with the server, then I have to do the programming with the help of the functions which are related to DHTML. So DHTML is a type of dynamic creation of web pages, whereas HTML used to create a static web pages. Let us go to the introduction of this session. So dynamic HTML or DHTML is a technique which is used to change dynamically, and whereas HTML is static, DHTML is dynamic. Whereas coming to HTML, we can't change, we can't alter, we can't redesign, and HTML is not an interactive, and which is not responding to the user actions. Whereas dynamic HTML creates a web pages which reacts according to the user action. So if I need to have some animation, animated video, animated image on my web page with different colors and different effects, then I have to opt the category called DHTML. DHTML is not a single technology, it is a combination of three technologies. Let us see this. So if you see the structure, CSS, client side scripting, that is nothing but JavaScript and JavaScript, document object model. These three technologies combine together and form DHTML. What type of categories or what type of contents I can see in DHTML? The different types of DHTML things which I can see rather than HTML are different types of animation, audio file, video file, different actions performed on it can't be seen on the HTML. And if I need to have different page transitions, page effects, or automatic refreshes when I load or unload, those type of programming comes under HTML rather than, comes under DHTML rather than HTML. And changing text. If I need to move the text from left side to right or right side to left, or scrolling, or with blinking, like filtering effects we have seen in the last chapter. So this can be occurred in this dynamic HTML page. So visual change in text, if I need to have in a single web page, if I need to have the particular text in different colors, different fonts, different themes, styles, then this can be happen for dynamic web pages. Automatically generated HTML. When I perform an action, automatically the server will be sent to the request will be sent to the server, and it will generate some HTML pages. Similarly, automatically generated data. If I request a particular action through the DHTML web page, the request will be sent to the server, and server will be giving me the particular data what I need to generate. And forms processing. With the help of the form or form tag, I can access the client so that the required validations and calculations can be performed in DHTML pages. So these are the different types of contents or lists I can observe in DHTML rather than HTML. So I call this as a dynamic HTML. So it have more advanced features than the HTML. So rather than the HTML, we can opt for best results. We can opt the DHTML web pages. So let us see the next part. The next part is about the DHTML document object model and collections. So this DOM, nothing but document object model, allows the direct access to the server and performs the interaction or the performs the event module and allows the browser to react with the user input. So if by using the attribute called id attribute, and if I need to use a particular method, I can use a method called get element by id method. So attribute, by using an attribute and by using some predefined methods, we can retrieve the data with the help of the browser, and user can interact according to his wish. So let us see one example. Now this is my example. My id attribute here is header, and in my h1 tag I need to display header. So here in the script tag, get element by id is a predefined method that we use here. The id is header and style dot color. When I execute, normally in html it displays in black color. By using the dhtml method or dhtml function, the header color should be turned to red. So let us see the output. So when I execute, it will be displaying like this. Then it asks us, are you sure you want to let this file run active content? I click on yes. Automatically, by using an attribute ID, the style color will be changed to red. So this can be happen by using an attribute ID is equals to header and referencing by a predefined method called get element by ID method. So document.getElement by ID method is used to pass the value of ID attribute, and with the reference of the properties, methods or collection of the element. Let us go for the second example. So if we go for the second example, it explains us the concept called function. The concept called function. Even in DHTML, we use a tag called script tag. Moreover, in the previous chapter we have seen, normally the script tag will be defined in the head section. So here, change color is a user defined function. In this function, I am changing the body BG color, background color to pink. So in body section, when I click on the body, it should call a function called change color. And in that body, it should display, click on this document. Let us see the output. So it displays like this, and I allow the content to be active content. I click on S. So when I click on the body, automatically my output will be displayed like this, because when I click on that by using an event called onClick, the document will be changing to the background color pink. This is about, the next topic is about using the collections all. So collections are the arrays of related objects on the page. There are several collections which are the collections of the HTML elements. So here I'm using a collection element called all. So let us see the example. So here my attribute is, see here, my attribute ID is equals to PID. Whenever the body loads on a particular page, a function start should be called. When the function start is called, automatically it calculates the length and it displays the tag name according to the inner HTML with one after the other break. So what are all the tags I have used in this program will be displayed in order. Let us see the output. So it displays like this. When I click on yes, the different tags will be displayed one after the other. So the length property of the collection all gives the number of elements in the document. So instead of inner HTML in the program, if you see here I have used in the program inner HTML. Instead of inner HTML in the program, we can do inner text, outer HTML, inner HTML and outer HTML. What is inner text? The complete textual content of an element is called as an inner text. Outer HTML, identical to the inner text except when assigned a new value to it. This value replaces the element itself as well. Inner HTML, the complete content including HTML tags and skips the line break. Outer HTML, so this is outer text. Outer HTML, the complete content of the element includes the element itself and the line break is valid. So inner HTML is without line break and outer HTML is with line break. So this is about the collection, using the collection all. So the next topic is about moving objects around the document. This moving objects around the document helps to move the style sheet towards right or left. So this illustrates with an example. So this is moving around object around the document. So I am taking a image by using a image tag. So the path is so and so. So I'm using a user defined function called moving. So here I'm writing the logic. So it should be moved towards right side for every 5 pixels. So let us see the output. So after moving, I'm keeping another user defined function called come back. So when I click on particular button come back, it should be in the exact position when I started it. So coming to the body part, let us see. Input type is equals to button, value is equals to move. It should be moved when I click on a function called moving. It should be come back when I click on the user defined function called come back. So let us see this. So this is how I'll get it, and I click on yes. When I click on yes, when I click on two buttons, one is move and come back. When I click on move, the particular object or an image is moving towards right for every 5 pixels. And when I click on come back, it will be coming back to the original position. So this is how a moving of object can be applied in a web page using DHTML. The later we can see the next examples in the next session. Thank you.